So let's start at the top of the south. Representing Nelson Marlborough, Westland District, from sunny Blenheim, please welcome Simon Bush from Marlborough Boys College. Simon's a prefect and was in the New Zealand Under-18 development basketball team. Thank you, Simon. The floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. War. It's so hard to fathom growing up in New Zealand today. It's so hard to imagine what it would be like. As I was writing this speech, my dad told me to put myself into the shoes of our veterans, to feel what they would have felt. But how was I to do that? Throughout my life, war has been a mere 2-minute inconvenience as I've waited for the sports news to come on. But for many New Zealanders, war has been a way of life. I know nothing of the feelings of leaving home for war, but what I do know is how it feels to be a New Zealander. Bravery, modesty, loyalty in friendship. These represent so many New Zealanders, from our athletes to our academics. Bravery, modesty, loyalty in friendship. These represent our veterans above all. Brave New Zealanders fighting for peace all over the world. So many stories of bravery. Today, I would like to share with you one story of New Zealanders at war. September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland, which triggered the start of the largest war in history, World War II. Germany then followed with invasions of Denmark, Norway, Holland, Belgium, and France. Germany need only to complete a successful invasion of Great Britain to have total domination over Northern Europe. But the German troops would be too exposed crossing the Channel alone, so as a first step, they would have to take control of the skies. After forcing Britain to a retreat from Dunkirk, Germany held a considerable advantage of aircraft. They had 2,600 fighters and bombers at the ready, while Britain, 640 fighters. On the eve of the greatest air battle of all time, it should be fitting that 127 New Zealanders were ready to take to the skies. 127 New Zealanders, not there to defend themselves, but to help a friend in their hour of need. Our participation in the Battle of Britain was the third highest, just below Britain and Poland. And within the 127 lay one of the most influential leaders throughout the battle, Sir Keith Park. Sir Keith Park was a veteran of World War I. He served in the New Zealand Artillery in Egypt, Gallipoli, and France before transferring to the Royal Air Force. After World War I, Park stayed with the Royal Air Force, eventually ascending to the rank of Air Vice Marshal. With the arrival of World War II, Park was appointed Commander-in-Chief of Group 11. This was the most important of fighting command, as not only were they in charge of defending the southern coastline of Britain and southeast England from enemy attack, but also London, which was obvious would be a prime target of the Luftwaffe at some stage of the battle. 10th of July, 1940, Germany launched their first air attack. The Battle of Britain had begun. It was said that others controlled the Battle of Britain day by day, while Park controlled it hour by hour. He managed and controlled his squadrons brilliantly. His tactics, controversial to some, life-saving for millions. Park chose to let the enemy come to him instead of going to attack the airfields in France. Although this tactic ran the risk of more bombers reaching their targets, it meant that it saved many pilots' lives as they were able to bail out onto British soil. This could well have been the deciding factor in the Battle of Britain. September 15th, 1940, the largest concentration of enemy aircraft ever seen cross the English Channel from all directions. Raids continued throughout the day, with over 1,000 waves attacking London. Group 11 put up their entire fighting force and asked for assistance from 12 and 10 Group. All in all, 40 squadrons. That's 480 aircraft were in fierce combat above London. At the end of this day, Germany had lost 59 aircraft, while Britain, 23 aircraft, 13 pilots. Within 2 days of this German final assault, Germany had realised invasion of Britain would be impossible. Their Luftwaffe had failed to destroy the Royal Air Force. The Allies had won their first major battle of World War II. Then came the booming voice of a proud leader. Never, in the field of human conflict, has so much been owed by so many to so few. Our hearts go out to those fighter pilots whose brave actions we see with our eyes day after day. Sir Winston Churchill. Then, in 1947, Sir Keith Park was praised for his actions in the Battle of Britain by Lord Tedder, Chief of the Royal Air Force. He said, "If any one man won the Battle of Britain, Keith Park did." I do not believe it is realised that one man, with his leadership, his calm judgment, and his skill, did not only save this country, but the world. Sir Keith Park and the 127 showed what it means to be a New Zealander. This story made me feel proud. Proud that I live in a country where men and women travel halfway around the world to fight for peace. Proud and humbled about how much our veterans sacrificed so that I could enjoy the life I now live. So now when I think about war, I'll remember just what it means to be a New Zealander and feel proud to be one of them. Thank you.